Hello, everyone. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. As we know, Christmas is coming up, and so I have like loads of products. I just finished making a tincture last night, my first one, and it's jasmine. So if you're interested in that, they're $15 each, and I'm going to be explaining more underneath my Be Pure Natural products, more about jasmine and the health benefits and things like that. But you actually ingest tinctures, so you can add it to water, typically on an empty stomach, a few times a day. And so this will like shift your vibration, that sort of thing. It's great to use things externally, but now it's really fun to get into internal things. So feel free to pick out an item and I can read your connection to it, okay? I have lavender. Okay, this is a lavender roller. So the whole point of kind of what I was just talking about with tinctures is there's energy from herbs and flower essences and things like that. I think we underestimate the power of them. For people that don't know, I had a severe gluten allergy. Um, I really feel like I would be hospitalized from how severe my allergies were. And now I've been able to introduce all these things that I had allergies. I had allergies and now I feel like they're gone. Um, it's just a perfect example of how we can work on healing emotionally, spiritually, physically, and psychologically around things. And I do feel like most things are reversible if you're willing to work on them. So I started to use herbs and the energy of herbs, along with Akashic Records healings, and of course, getting other people to help me, natural healers, that sort of thing. And so I do feel like there's potential here to do things naturally if you're willing to put in the work. So that being said, lavender is quite powerful. So if you're drawn to lavender, let me know. You can be drawn to more things, but you just put down which one. You can just say the color if you want. So lavender, that's a $16 roller. It's a blend that you can put on your skin. As we know, lavender is quite calming and relaxing. It's one of the most common herbs or flower essences that we can work with. Selenite. For a lot of people are just getting into crystals, so like selenite might be to someone like me, like, oh, everybody knows about selenite because it's so popular, but it doesn't mean that you that you know about it. So I'll be all right. I'm just stuttering over my words here. I just want to keep checking comments. And then so selenite is the only crystal that we use that we don't have to charge, right? So it's always like, put your crystals underneath the full moon and cleanse them, or make sure that, once all the sticky, icky energy gets on your crystals, that you don't continue to work on it, or don't let other people touch your crystals. Well, selenite is a crystal that we don't have to worry about. Yay! That's why everybody loves it so much, because it has such a positive effect on us. And so this is 19. I just like the little towers because they can stand up, and this might be something you just put near your workstation or near your computer, and you'll get a lot of healing benefits from it. Okay. Then we have green quartz, and green quartz is more about focusing on health. So going into 2022, probably I just picked all of these based on feeling like this is what the group needs right now. And it also might be that you're finding you have a friend or someone else that would be benefit from these things as well, as we continue to learn and grow from them. So yes, 2022, a lot of health goals for a lot of people, new beginnings. So green quartz can really, I'm going to say, help us attract those things, right? So if it's like, okay, 2022, I'm making health a priority, work with green quartz. And when I say work with it, I mean put it in your bra, put it in your pocket. So today, my stones are in my pouch, okay? So I have pyrite, I have a shielding and grounding stone, and I have my little medicine pouch with all of my herbs in it, all in my little pocket. So if I look as well, I have like lava stones, moonstone. I have sodalite. I have another protection bracelet on. And usually I'm always wearing earrings as well. So as a healer, these are really important. As a person who has stress, anxiety, etc., you know, these become your major tools, just like working with essential oils. Probably why I have the essential oils in here as well. So again, we underestimate nature. So Nancy says she's drawn to rose quartz. Okay, well, we have 2 rose quartz here, but I feel like the raw one is probably an important one. So rose quartz is $10. This is a nice, decent size piece. Rose quartz, if we touch it, so another way, like for me, what I would suggest is, so say you're like looking to attract and manifest something in your life. Especially where I have a manifesting workshop coming up on the 16th. I'm going to be doing more talks and readings for 2022. This week was all about that. So, I mean, I feel like everybody's just kind of starting to think about the future a bit more in December. And so it's no coincidence the way that things are falling into place astrological wise. But when you're looking to attract love into your life, or you're working on self-love, this is a really great stone to actually hold. So I'm getting, just put it in your hand and allow it to feel like warm. So it starts off cold and wait till it starts to feel warm. And notice how you feel in your physical body when you're working with it. You might feel like you might feel like fluttering in your heart or different sensations. And this means that it's working. It's doing something. So try not to worry too much about what it's doing and trust that it is, okay? And so after it gets warm, we would then put it next to the selenite, right? So these little mini selenite sticks are the same as the tower, are $7, which is really, really good. This one we can also put around the top of our head. So this might be underneath your pillow at night. This might be if you really suck at meditating, which I do. And if you want to like do the manifesting workshop with me, meditation is involved in that. However, it's more of like meditation as in getting into a certain type of mindset, right? Just taking time for yourself. So, and also if you do my membership program for only $11.11 a month, you can cancel at any time. You'll get access to my meditation workshop that way, and of course a bunch of other things, monthly meditation specifically for the group, and a private Facebook group as well. So that might be something for $11 you want to focus on. So this would be a really cute gift for someone because it's inexpensive and it can really help people. So I like the idea of gifts being things that can heal other people, especially if they wouldn't buy it for themselves. So that's rose quartz. This is also a polished rose quartz. So again, each individual crystal has its own powers and abilities, even if they're the same crystal, which is really cool. So that's why it's really important to really tune in as well and trust that. That's why we're doing this exercise today. Selenite, Sarah says. Okay, cool. So the rose quartz, this one is also 10. It's polished. And so the difference with the polished ones, maybe they look a little prettier to you. They're a little fancier, not as rough, right? So maybe if it's working with a child or something, or someone who likes prettier things, this might be a good one, especially if you're just putting it almost looks like a polished rock, right? So it can just hide a little bit better, I find. Same thing in your bra, might not scrape you. But this one, same thing, kind of feeling. It feels like more like if you're looking to attract, again, more love and kindness, random acts of kindness. This feels like you're going to attract nicer people into your life, because as you're vibrating that, other people are going to be naturally drawn to you. So if you're working on positivity and, again, kindness, relationships, that's a good one for you, okay? So Sarah says selenite. So yes, so Sarah, when we go into your energy, I go more towards the stick one. I feel like, again, just around the crown, around the head, because what that does is it activates us. So if you're a person who gets drained really easily, this is actually will like charge your energy. Okay, so it's the opposite of draining. It's a charge, and so that's why we actually call this a charger. So it's a charger for people and things that aren't electronics, right? Things that get really tired easily. So this one, I mean, you can do whatever the heck you want with it. For you, I would actually buy at least 3 of them. I have larger ones as well. I have quite a few selenite options, so you can always ask me about those. But what's really cool too is you could almost use it as a charger. So if you do have like smaller stones, when you're finished working with those, you can take them and you can just kind of put them on. Probably even put that one on, maybe not, but just having them close to it is going to be helping all the other crystals. And so if you get into crystal grids, which Sarah would recommend doing, and Nancy as well, learning about those, we want to use multiple crystals, and we use something like this, right? Something pointy in the center, and then put like kind of these around. That's kind of how I would do it. I wouldn't do it with that one, but I'd use this one to charge all the smaller ones with. And so what you would do is kind of like connect to the selenite. If you have Reiki training, again, if you want the abilities from the Reiki training, underneath my membership programs, underneath the pro level, I have like multiple versions of Reiki. You get the attunements and learn about all of this stuff, and those are digital programs, so you can see how other questions that people have that are very similar to you. But what we do is we actually do energy healing and clearings on the grid, and we can invite intention. So you can do crystal grids for abundance, and I could go in depth with those. I'm not going to right now, but if you do the membership plans, go for the pro one, and at least, and so either Sarah or Nancy or maybe somebody else watching, I do it for at least 4 months to really get the max out of it, because underneath the pro level you get a meditation, you get theta healing, this is monthly, and a healing tool. So in the private Facebook group, if you're like, I want to learn how to do crystal grids on a deeper level for this, then I would add that into the healing tools monthly, right? So those would be videos that you can then watch specific towards the group, which I love. So that is kind of, for some reason, coming up. Jessica, so if you want to mention something that you're drawn into, if you feel comfortable, I can go into that for you. It is super pretty, actually. Something I don't always take enough time to do, but when I teach, I focus on it, or when I'm like taking classes, I learn about it. You can do ancestral healing grid. So in my $33 a month membership portion, you learn about the Akashic records. I talk about angels and crystals and chakras and, oh my God, dreams and card readings and all kinds of stuff in those. And again, I have multiple Akashic records certification programs in there as well. And you still get all kinds of goodies that you're investing in. So yellow citron's one that we haven't talked about, but actually this is a joy stone, and it's also so for happiness, because that's really important right now, and also money. So if that's something you're looking to attract, same thing, you might want to put this on your altar if you have one. I actually put mine in my bathtub when I take salt baths. But when you purchase something from me, I charge I even charge the cards that I sell. Like everything that you get from me, I go into the energy and charge up the products. Okay, so if you notice, like when you do card readings and you bought cards from me, it's like, oh, I feel so connected to this deck, and I feel this, and I feel that, and it's because I was actually offered healing and clearings to the products, because we have that ability to do that, right? So is that aventurine? This is green quartz. It's $5. Yellow citron, $5. The rose quartzes are $10. This one is $19. This is $7. The lavender roller is $16. And the cleansing spray has sage and Palo Santo, essential oil, witch hazel, distilled water, Reiki healing, theta healing, and love. These are $10. They're 15 mils. These ones smell really nice. They're not like, they don't have a sage smell. They're really like, almost smells kind of floral, which is nice. So it's quite light. And I feel like if you're going to use this, it's more about learning to shift your own vibration. Okay, so again, I would charge it up, but this feels like if you purchase this, it's because you are actually wanting to change your own vibration. So a lot of people right now can use more mindfulness. So again, that's where the manifesting workshop will be helpful for people. So these are $10, or you can make your own little sampler kit, and you get 4 for $30, which is nice. So Jessica says the green. Okay. Yep, so we already talked about that green. I wanted to say green aventurine. By the way, if you're interested in green aventurine, I also have green aventurine. I have like so many things. So you just have to kind of reach out to me. Same thing if you want to consult or you want me to do a little video for you, I can. But this one, we're talking about kind of like heart health, things like that. Heart chakra is what I'm getting for you. Just like put it up to your chest. So if you have stress, tension, things like that, you'll actually find if you keep it around your chest, laying down, or again in your bra, might be helpful just for any type of opening up the heart, healing, forgiveness, clearings. But I also have a green aventurine necklace that would benefit you as well, because again, that drops down on the chest. And I have fluorite as well, which is another good one if you want to learn more about the Akashic Records. Fluorite helps you go deeper into your own abilities and your own insights, which I feel like everybody watching is more interested in. Rather than me telling you things, you want to learn for yourselves. So then the lavender roller, we were kind of talking about stress relief, but it's also, say you actually have like pain, things like that on your shoulder. I don't know why that's coming up. You can actually use the roller directly on where there's pain, right? Herbs are very healing. So just checking the messages. Okay, I don't see anybody else asking, so if you're interested in any of these, let me know. Same thing, if you want me to do a little video for you, what products would benefit you, I can. I just pulled these ones out for the group that I felt like these were priority. Lapis lazuli is actually a truth-speaking stone, honesty. Same thing, attracting other people that are honest. So if you have trust issues, that would be a goodie. If you have a hard time self-expressing, so you have anxiety, that would be great. Also really great for the third eye. So learning how to listen to your intuition, struggle with maybe self-destructive patterns of behaviors, just having this close to you can really benefit you. And I also have this in a necklace form. All right, guys, take care. Bye for now.